Gee, this is going to be a short live, but God just showed me so much. Remember how earlier I was telling you that He said He made three worlds and He's about to create a fourth? This thing poops worlds. Poops worlds. He said that's the reason why there's like the gates are 12 pearls, because at the base of it, it's pearl. Like it's the oyster shell of a pearl. It's gonna poop a world, you know? So that's what God was showing me, is that that's another reason why we couldn't figure out how to remember. The east wind was over there, right? And then that followed by the north wind that went down to the south wind. So now we see how it's whirling, right? So it was the east wind that went down to the north wind that went down to the south wind. And then the south wind went back to the north wind. And we were like, what's like, how, why, right? Y'all remember that? Like, why can't we get over here? And now he showed me, because remember when you were in elementary school and you had to, do the thing with the parachute? That's kind of what he was showing me as I tried to like figure this out. So first it just got really big. So I'm like, okay, if the wind goes over there, maybe it's dumping back into here. But then he said, no, this is the center, right? So literally there's a propelling force going into the center. Uh-oh, I turned it. But what he was showing me, there's some type of, now mind you, I'm hood. I have no clue about any of this stuff. So if I'm kind of right, that tells you God is like real, flat out. I'm not doing this for my own glorification. You get what I'm saying? Not me. No, I am a downright slave servant of God. And don't feel bad for me, because I love it. I'm having the time. Do y'all see what God... Oh, do y'all see what the Lord himself done made me paint in my living room? Do y'all see that? So no, don't feel bad for me. I'm having a time of my life. I feel like I'm dating a genius. You get what I'm saying? So but I am saying that to say it grew, because God told me I was playing too small. Then he said, why you got my tail? You know what I'm saying? He was like, why not tail, but you know what I mean? Why you put my butt basically before my face? Because he said his face, the face of, not his, please excuse me, because I don't want you to think this God. This ain't God at all. The power though, this is the power. And the power does have a face. And he was saying the face goes that way. So he's like, why is this swoop in my face? I'm going that way. You know what I mean? Like, you get what I'm trying to say. So the face is going that way. So the swoop can't go like that. And that's when he showed me it's like I can't even explain it. Like, I can't even, and we're going to see as I keep going through it. But can y'all believe that this is what's done came up on the, I know that it's like one of the things he's been showing me is kind of like a cornucopia. Is that what that thing called? You know, the thing that got the tail for Thanksgiving? Because he was telling me, I was like, why can't we get to this part? You know, if that wind's going that way and that's going that way, why can't I get to this part? And he said, because it's directional. So if I'm going that way, you get what I'm saying? It's directional. So he did tell me they trying to tip the balance type thing. So if it goes a different way, the west, because remember, this was the west in it, will be not the tail. You know what I'm saying? Right now it's the tail. So maybe then it'll be the head, but right now it's the tail. Right now the east is the face. I know you're wondering, like, what is she talking about? If that's the east, how is that the west? Because that's what he said. He said it starts in the east, the wind goes to the north, then goes to the south, Once it gets down in the south, it goes back to the north, and it made me wonder what's going on here. How am I ever going to get there? And that's when he showed me it's like a I can't even explain it. Push pull theory, I guess. Like if he's facing that way, that means something went up through there to push it that way. You get what I'm saying? So it's hard to explain. It's hard. It's really, really hard to explain. But I'm gonna say this: God Himself done painted that. Real talk. Long story short, and all my talking through it, I've been, just through a lot, and I don't want anybody to, like, I see why the angels yell out, no, don't do that. Wisdom did not do this. And if wisdom did, it was only the bad parts of wisdom. You get what I'm saying? Like, but if God did it, man, this is God. I'm not, I can't even explain it. Nah, so just don't do it. Long story short, don't dare try to say I did this. This was a reenactment of the Book of Enoch, holding them to the definitions of the words. And through that, now I see the pearls. Now I see why he said he made 3 worlds. And he's created 3 worlds and he's about to open a 4th. And now I see this thing poops worlds. There's about to be a whole pooping of a world that happens like a pearl does, like a pearl does. Don't move, dogs. My dogs are like, ugh. But now I see it. I see it. This thing's big. And now, I got to go back over it and redo it all over again because sometimes you have to just get it. I'm not a real painter. I don't got the vision of this. You know what I'm saying? But, sometimes you got to feel through it until you see what God is trying to get you to do. So I'm going to do this better with straighter lines. You know what I mean? Like use the ruler and go get me some more tape and do it properly. But now I see the vision of what he's showing me. Now I see that why it's the earth. Remember, I was so angry when he gave me that first one. And I was like, God, are you telling me the earth is flat? He was like, huh? Like the feeling I felt from him was like, why are you worried about stupid stuff? He said, what you need to know is there's 12 dimensions. Now I see it. Now I see it. I see it clear as day. It's 12 dimensions. And he told me I got to go back. As you see the colors from the bus stops where they're portals or whatever, they need to match the colors. And I didn't do that at first. I was still trying to go with that electric blue feeling. I feel like there needs to be the color of electricity in there. But God was like, but wait, no. How about, what he want me to go back and do is in these color slots, this is now a color wheel. Remember, I couldn't figure out what colors came next. But he said that, don't recreate the wheel is his exact words, man. He's hilarious. He said, don't recreate the wheel. And I went and got the color wheel. And that's how you see this. This is the color wheel, the gold, the orange, the yellow, the purple, the green. So that's the color wheel. But he said, don't recreate the wheel. So I went and did that. But he said when I make the stops, this is what I did wrong. You see how this had stops? This one should have been yellow. You know what I mean? Like the next stop going from there should have been yellow. So it goes from here to here. But you don't go from there to there. That bus don't roll like that. That bus is a one-way flight. So it's like from here to here. Or from here to here. You see how I go? Then from here to here. So it had to be done a certain kind of way. So God said yellow is supposed to be going from here to here to here to here to here. And so is orange here to here. So that got to be redone. I'll redo it. I'll redo it. So that's one thing you said I did wrong is that I got to make the colors. That's what it's doing, is transporting color everywhere. The portals do anyways. Or light, transfer light, but light ain't nothing but color. I mean, it's color. What was the other thing you told me I had to do better? Oh yeah, better tape. That I need to play bigger, so that way it'll stay like that. But we got more out here, and that cornucopia part, because he said that's what we need to realize as a people is even though something may have a circumference, it still has a direction, is what I hear him saying. So even though it got a circumference, it's got a direction. So let's say that this is water, like in a bag. As it's going that way, there's going to be the tail of it's going to come that way. But if for some reason it goes, changes, the propulsion of it changes, then now the tail will go that way. So that's what God was saying, is that I couldn't put a flat out of how it's supposed to go, because he said it depends on which way it's going in order to tell where the tail going. So yeah, that's something else I got to do, is get bigger tape, get real bigger tape. And in this particular age, that's what I hear him saying. In this particular age, this is the like, how do I put it? Like, now though that would mean it's going to the center. I hope you see it. That means something going to the center, that bulbs all that out like that. You get what I'm saying? So now it makes sense how the wind can come in through there and going through there, but not there. You get what I'm saying? Like, now it makes sense. Wow. Sometimes we got to let God be true. Not Enoch. God. God is the words. He makes us state. That's how dumb we are. He literally makes us say things, and we think it's our idea. Not until the end do you go, oh, now I get it, God. Hey, that's a good song in the background. I'm moving on. So, all right, I'm gonna go. We see where I gotta prepare for a showing tomorrow. Man, I'm so not ready, but if the person's smart, they'll see. They'll be like, oh, this lady willing to take whatever offer gonna get her another house? Yep. So if they smart, they'll come, ready, being serious. Just give me, market value, a good market value for it, and I'll be out. So yeah, I got to clean up all this mess. I know you're like, I got to clean up. And it's hard to break away, though, when he does stuff like this. But I do need to go get some rest, because I got to do it all over again. Whole thing. Got to redo the whole thing. But that's okay. It's going to look good when I'm done. I got to redo the whole thing and get proper tape. I need a long ruler. That's what I was missing. A long ruler in order to make the portals. And I think I'm going to go get a paint marker. Because the paintbrush I feel like I need stronger lines with inside the circle. Wow, look, I don't even know how to paint, and he done gave us dimension. It looks like a circle, it looks 3D-ish. It looks like it's sitting there 3D on the wall. That's why I can't stop looking at it. Wow. 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 Okay. All right. See you guys later. I'm gonna go rest. But wow, right? That's really cool. All right, bye.